Folks, welcome back. My name is Rudy. You're watching Alpha Investments. Another long, interesting conversation today regarding, I guess we'll use Pokemon as an example here. And I guess the age-old question in the collectible world is, can the ultimate problem be solved in the CCG world? Well, the ultimate problem has always been deemed the infamous triangular triad of anger and hatred between players, collectors, and evil investors. So this is mostly, we're going to focus this mostly on Pokemon right now, okay? Because Pokemon is kind of on a boiling, interesting kind of moment in time. You've got all the drama with we're all just going to X-ray Pokemon boxes in our basements and everything's worthless and the world is ending. You got that kind of drama cycle going on. You have essentially the other drama cycle, freaking out because we have the Sword and Shield era Pokemon from a few years ago has stopped going up and it's just flat and sitting there. And now we have resources and money is going after Scarlet Violet, in which nobody thought was going to happen. And we've got all these moving components. In the world of Magic the Gathering, you have all the collector boxes and these new sets. You have all kinds of craziness with Lord of the Rings and the Fallout, the new Bloomburrow, and you just have a lot of activity and upticks and repricing in a bullish manner. So, the question that LGS's patron members and you all always ask me is a very simple one. Is there a way for everybody to get along? Is there a way to neutralize the conflict between people who want cards and game pieces on the internet and want everything available, accessible, cheap, and free, also known as a living card game? Or is there a way to solve this infamous 20 to 30 year problem in the card world? Obviously, I'll give you all my Rudy opinion at the end here and what I think the future is hold, and I'm going to give you a very blunt, uncomfortable answer. I'll put it at the end of the video, and we'll put some stupid title in the video to get people angry. But overall, how do I say this? We're in a time where social media has really amplified the news cycle and drama cycle of card prices, box prices, and everybody's got an opinion and voice based on pretty much short-term movements. Now, when I say short-term movements, we have very short-term, which is like, a product comes out and within 30 days, people judge the price based on all the market noise and swings. We have people judging products on prices that are less than a year old. You really don't know the true value of many items until they hit multi-year kind of years under the belt. You need multiple years under the belt to understand. And technically, usually at like 5-10 years, true scarcity, true stability hits an item. You can really tell what it's really valued at. The market's going to say whether they really accepted, rejected, and if the item is good or bad. But it takes time, okay? And so back to Pokemon. Right now, the Pokemon world is plagued with this whole conversation of scalpers and investors and everything. Every once in a while in the Pokemon world and message boards and Reddits and Discords and MySpace and OnlyFans and Ashley Madison and Tinders and Grinders, the Rudy name gets brought up. That, I'm going to pause right there. I guess what's wild to me is how normal people are so detached from the size and the scope of the business side of like Pokemon. It's fascinating to me when I see a small YouTube channel maybe it's a guy or a lady makes a video and they love Pokemon and they've got a couple sealed boxes and cases behind them and you see people in the comment section on these small YouTube channels and you see them going, you're the problem, beep boop boop rah 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 rah, and they kind of bang on the keyboard. People like you talking to the small YouTube channel, you're the reason Pokemon and Scalper, they love, you gotta use the word Scalper, and the evil investors, and you make the cards expensive, you make the box prices high. They kind of latch on and really get like kind of the pointing the finger like it's your fault. And I see that kind of stuff when I kind of browse through some things sometimes, and it blows my mind that anyone in a comment section can go to like a small YouTube channel with a woman or a guy talking about Pokemon, maybe a set or a card they love. Maybe they got some extra sealed boxes or cases. And there are people online that think because somebody has some sealed boxes or cases that that's going to impact the market and their prices or cost them money. Like, bro, like, I don't know if it's a lack of education and knowledge that leads to some people feeling that way, or if it truly is just a lot of anger and emotion in that kind of hobby because they're passionate about it, or a combination of both. Like, I assure you all, the behind the scenes business side of Pokemon and these booster boxes and these eras, it is a multi-billion-dollar business with a B. I mean, even like we're talking even the monster top 1% whales. Like, again, I'll be blunt with you all. I don't know who or if there is even another Rudy out there that has larger positions in like each Scarlet Violet set. Like, I don't personally think there is another Rudy that is doing a larger scale than my level. For example, just Scarlet Violet. Not talking about Sword and Shield, just Scarlet Violet right now. Like, I don't personally believe there is. That's my opinion. And if someone out there is, I've never seen evidence. I get messages of people saying, "Oh, I got 10,000 boxes." Everybody says all kinds of dumb shit. Everybody's got 100 Black Lotuses and Magic. We all have the same thing. But I've never seen evidence of it. On this channel, when I make these moves and I discuss what my plan is and my attitude towards the future, in my opinion, I'm almost forced to show you the palettes and the things in the background many times, because I feel like if I didn't do that, essentially the general public would not believe it. It's mostly shown, it's nothing to do with bragging, has nothing to do with moving the market. It's to show the seriousness that when I am willing to deploy the money and wait, of how much I believe in my opinion on the future of Scarlet Violet Pokemon, for example. And I think that is not fully understood by a lot of people. When I say I want 1,000 to 3,000 boxes of every Scarlet Violet set, like a minimum of 1,000, there's not really much wiggle room there. I'm just telling you, that is the goal. That's what we're going for. I'll do some more filming at some of the warehouse stuff and kind of show you guys the pallets. I got more of them. I haven't showed you more. I've recently expanded further. Everyone will Paldea, Rudy, Mr. P is already to 130. Well, yeah, I know. Everybody knows it's going up. I don't care about that. I literally was, extremely bullish on the new Eyes Wide Shut, Twilight Masquerade, Stanley Kubrick. And of course, I've been very bullish on things like Base Set. And of course, on like Paradox Rift. These sets that everyone says is trash. You've got Scarlet Violet Base on TCG Player at 100 plus tax rate. It's already broken the $100 marker, the infamous benchmark. Same thing, Paradox Rift, like 102, 103 plus tax, and the market's very thin. These things have been out a while. And, now it's just, I'm getting on a tangent. So back to the original point. Is there a solution to this entire thing? And for those of you, the LGSs and patron messages that you guys have been sending me, look, I'm going to give you, to respond to everybody, I'm going to give you all my opinion right now. No, there's no fucking solution to it, period. You cannot solve a problem when there is no problem to be solved. In my opinion, straight up, full stop, there is no issue in the Pokemon world. Pokemon is a natural moving entity with a secondary market that's a sum of hundreds, if not thousands, of sellers and stores, and the market decides the overall price. There is this whole concept of the entire markets being controlled by like a big Rudy in the background. Yes, I could probably have an impact and move the market. That's not being argued. But again, that may be the market is going to assign a long-term value and price of what it is, it feels as accurate. I can give you my opinion, and everybody, all of you watching, can move the market up, but it may retrace, it may go further, it may accelerate market movement, but the market is going to eventually find equilibrium, either higher or lower, if Rudy pumps or dumps, and it's going to find its true price. Now again, influencers can push it higher, or they can speed up or slow down that process, but the process is going to happen. The market's going to market, right? I stand by, I know this is kind of a hot take, I guess, there is no real problem to be solved. There is nothing wrong. This whole Pokemon scalping, this and that, it's all fairy dust. It's Fugazi. This is nothing. It's Matthew McConaughey who's getting off 5 times a day because his rookie number's doing the hand thing. It's nothing. Okay, I can even take it a step further. The Pokemon market is such a beautiful, well-ran thing that Pokemon sets come out. Wholesale store distribution is like $95 to $100 a box for a Pokemon box. Okay, and guess what? These boxes, a Pokemon set comes out, they'll collapse and tank. They're on eBay TCG Player for $90 to $100 a box. So even if you're not a business person like Evil Rudy, you don't have a basement and everything, and you got better hair than me, you can still be a normal dude working the drive-thru slinging waffle fries at the old fillet of chica, and you could still buy it almost the same price, probably, if not the same price, as evil investors and store owners. Pokemon allows the opportunity that even regular people can get the same price. That's how level the fucking playing field is. This concept of scalping, this is a side effect of emotional lack of educated individuals in a marketplace long term. The market is a vast place. And the Pokemon company and the CCG, the management of this is, they're not perfect. They fuck things up. We all do. We're all human meat popsicles. But they do an incredibly good job at it. Their success rate and long-term track record is off the chart positive. We're talking like Warren Buffett Berkshire long-term track record of running and managing Pokemon sealed booster boxes. It is incredibly successful. It is, people call Pokemon booster boxes the blue chip standard of long-term sealed product. That is the nickname and slang term between like investors and LGSs and distributors. And this concept that the Pokemon market is plagued with scalpers and bad people is simply a side effect of the culture war, the social media, and simply the drama empire that gets clicks and views in YouTube. If I make a bunch of YouTube videos with drama and negativity, and I spike my views up on this channel for a month, this YouTube channel will spike and make $10,000, $15,000 in a month. If I don't, and things are calm and smooth, this YouTube channel will make $5,000 to $10,000 a month. So it'll swing how much money I'll get by $5,000, whether I'm positive or negative, because people are attracted to drama and failure and negative and bankruptcy. If Alpha Investments for some reason fell apart and bankruptcy, any of these hot terms, this YouTube channel's revenue would double. It's kind of funny. So it's like if the worse I do, and if I start going downhill, the YouTube channel will actually make more money to push me back up. Anybody ever thought about that? Or are people just too short-sighted and too angry? So, we're in this society. We're in a society. I don't believe there's really as many problems as everybody loves to preach about online. And I understand there's a lot of stupid-ass people out there, and these dumb people make dumb decisions, and some people have YouTube channels, and they just love to bash, and again, some people just report on these things, and honestly, it's easy for the YouTubers to make content, because there's always someone doing something stupid. But this whole concept of scalping, we got to fix the Pokemon thing, the Pokemon investors were, there's nothing wrong. There is nothing to fix. This is a collectible asset class. It is a card game based on rare, desirable, unique chase items that are supposed to be rare, desirable, and chased after. There is nothing wrong. The rare versions of things are supposed to be expensive. They're supposed to be tough to get. And chances are people fighting for them and pushing up prices is a natural progression of the way a CCG is designed. This is the point of it. This is why it stood the test of time. This is why Pokemon will stand the test of time. I don't see any major concern. Again, the future can have different plans that we don't know about, but there's nothing really wrong. And, we just entered this Scarlet Violet thing in the last 2 years. We entered this era with straight failure bearishness from the base set. Just terrible sales, overprinting, cards are worthless. We entered this era with an attitude of, that it was over with. The glory days of Pokemon were over with. And it's so fascinating that within 2 years, I think it's more like a year and a half, we have already tilted right back to the old version of prices are going up. People are scalping Paldea. Oh, the new Twilight Eyes Wide Shut's going to start getting scalped. And I chuckle at it because nothing changes. I've told you all, in the short term, human behavior is incredibly predictable. In having that historical experience and data of how humans behave, makes certain people with more knowledge, expertise, a lot of capital, a lot of experience, it gives people like me a significant advantage to play in these playgrounds. Not because I'm some super genius investor. I'm not. If I was, I'd be a billionaire and I wouldn't be on YouTube talking to you all. I would have a super secret to just become a trillionaire, right? But I don't. Okay? I'm passionate about cards. I enjoy what I do. And the passion, the enjoyment, and everything makes a successful business. And of course, I'm willing to just grind endless hours and never stop. You put that stuff together, yeah, it's a recipe for success for any industry. You can turn wrenches, you can sell cupcakes, I can sell, feet pictures, I can literally sell strands of my hair, I can sell bath water of my hair. The point, if you're good enough and you're willing to go the distance and you don't give up, the probability of some sort of success or traction getting becomes very high. Okay? And so back to the main thing here. Rudy, can we solve this problem of investors versus, there's nothing to solve. It is a triangle of three categories of people, okay? And all three of these categories are required for long-term success in all CCGs. If you have a brand that has players and collectors and you kick out the investors and you don't like the scalpers, you're fucked. You are fucked long-term, okay? If you have a brand that's all investors, like Rudy, his stepsister, and his great-grandson, and all three of us just sell the same thing back and forth over and over, guess what? You ready? It won't work long term. There's no difference. It will not work. You cannot have all investors without normal players and collectors. You must coexist. Hey, I know, newsflash, just like the real world. All races, religions, midgets, tall people, hairy Rudies, and everything. Guess what? Everybody has to coexist. You may not want to hear that. You may like a certain type of person more than another, and that's fine. It's called a preference. But guess what? Everybody has to be respectful and coexist. I love the players. I love the collectors. Obviously, I love evil investors because everybody works together to make everybody in a successful economy of cardboard. And that is something that is just, I don't know if it's lack of education from some of the younger generation. I don't know if it's just straight frustration because of all the economic turmoil in the world. I don't know specifically what everyone's personal reason is, but clearly everybody has different reasons, okay? But the thing is, you need to be understanding the importance of everybody involved in this system, okay? I mean, it cannot be understated, the importance of this. If we lose, no scalpers, no evil investors in Pokemon, suddenly, it's like, holy crap, we can't sell as many boxes. They're not selling. People aren't sitting on excess sealed product. We got to cut print runs, otherwise this is going to collapse. Okay, so if all the evil investors and collectors start backing away, Pokemon's going to have product piled up, distribution and stores are going to start fire selling at losses, and all of a sudden you're going to have destabilization in the secondary market. And then Nintendo, Pokemon USA, the TCG brand division of Pokemon, or whoever owns what rights and printing, and they're going to have to start cutting print runs. When they cut print runs, they lose revenue. When the Pokemon company loses revenue, they start getting concerned. So then they start having boardroom meetings saying, hey, should we raise the price to counteract our declining revenue? Should we make a premium product like Magic the Gathering? Do we start raising prices? Do we make premium products? Do we release more product to compensate? You start to destabilize the marketplace. Okay, you cannot have that. Okay, just like if it's just investors and no players. If there's no one wanting normal, common, regular rares, non-flashy versions to play regular decks and playable thing, you have to have some of that. Even though Pokemon has a very limited amount compared to Magic, you still have to have that. Again, this is the whole point. You need people to just collect the flashy cards and the graded chase cards of every set. Pokemon knows that every new era set and block, they're not reprinting the same art. They're not reprinting the same card and the same art over and over and over again. Maybe you have some infamous Charizard base set, evolutions, anniversary. You have some exceptions, but overall, all these sets, they don't redo all the Evolving Skies exact cards and arts. They don't go back to Team Rockets, Team Ups, and Ultra Prisms, and Sun and Moons, and XYs, and Roarings. They're not going back and reprinting every card exactly the same. Pokemon doesn't do that because they're not stupid. And, the Pokemon thing is a beautiful fucking thing. And I feel like there's just not enough credit given to how amazing the world of Pokemon and the market and the secondary market and just the design and engineering of this brand is. It is something to be studied, admired, and respected. It is an incredible thing, everybody. And instead, the internet is just plagued with people doing dumb things, stealing at conventions, x-raying boxes to get the future and make everything, to game the system. And of course, scalping and flipping or trying to grade this and buy out a certain... People are so fixated on these little things. And I hate to be the newsflash of Captain Taco over here, but in the long run, no one gives a shit. Because guess what? From a guy who's all the way back to many blocks of Pokemon, I look back at all the controversies. From all the way back, from the old, Sword and Shield era, Sun and Moon era, XY. I go back to all these blocks, and I remember all these little controversies. From mapping packs to damaged cards. Anybody remember when Pokemon was making booster boxes in the wrapper, the white Pokemon logo was rubbing off the wrapper, and everybody thought selling counterfeit boxes? I can tell you so many stupid short-term controversies. And guess what? In the long game that I try to explain to you on this channel, none of that means anything. These individuals focus on that kind of stuff. I don't think the energy is being focused in the right place. One of the reasons I feel I've been able to kind of outperform a lot of this stuff long term is, my focus and efforts are not on the drama cycles. I don't focus, I don't check, I don't watch a lot of the drama and the new stuff. I get most of my information from just like patrons saying, hey, something big's happening and things like that in my own videos and comments. But past that, I don't really follow a lot of the news cycles. I don't follow a lot of this stuff. I don't see the point of me investing my time in watching drama cycles of people bashing other PokeTubers or YouTubers making videos about me just constantly bashing. There's no point. It doesn't do anything. It's just, if you want people like that, just let them live rent-free in your head. Let them do their thing. Who cares? Again, in the long run, going on 10 years on YouTube and, we're the patron army, everything's going great. Clearly, should I be concerned about people making attack videos on Pokemon investors like Rudy or people bashing me? Clearly, I mean, look at the data. We're almost 10 years. I think we're 3% off our all-time high on the patron army. Everything's booming. I mean, should I really be upset about people doing negative things? I mean, look at the raw data. It's doing great. So, conclusion of the video, I don't think there's a problem to be solved. That, if you want Rudy's answer, this whole thing, there is not a problem to be solved. It is a fabricated problem because, essentially put, if you don't have a bigger issue, humans like to make up their own problems. And overall, the market's not perfect. It's not perfectly efficient. It's not perfectly priced. And there will always be tremendous opportunity for people who are willing to kind of outplay the chess game. Okay? Thanks for watching, everybody. Friendly reminder, this YouTube channel is brought to you by you all, the viewers, and just the patrons who support me. I don't do outside sponsorships, anything along those lines. And yes, friendly reminder, we do have the new Pokemon Shrouded coming up here with the ETB cases and everything. And I'm on the book for like 25 pallets of it. I don't know if it's all going to sell out. I don't know if it's all garbage or not. I don't really care. I will be offering that at release to you all the supporters. Obviously, way below TCG, shipped to your door, a whole case. And that'll be a lot of fun. And of course, friendly reminder, everybody, we have a lot of big events coming up here between the Magic events. We got the Commander Legends 2 Collector Box Boulders Gate Loyalty Sale coming up here. We just ran a Double Masters 2022 Throwback Sale. We got the Weiss Wednesdays. And of course, we got some Force of Will throwbacks. We got the big Flesh and Blood Rosetta thing with the exclusive slab promo cards. We have our Thurian Legends with Sorcery coming up here. And yes, folks, there are already rumors and things chattering and kind of moving around with this new Pokemon booster box set coming up in the September-October range about print runs and issues after what happened with Twilight. I don't have any data yet. It's a little too soon. But overall, I think it's important to remember, yes, you can flip things. You can be an evil scalper. But the real wealth is made for the long-term calm people who are able to navigate the market. And I'm living proof of it. And I think people should really have a better perspective on things, because there's a lot of opportunity out there. And people are just so emotional in the short term, they miss out. And, you know, we've seen this with, I don't know how many Pokemon sets in the last 10 years. We've seen it with tons of Magic sets in the last 10 years. we've seen it with just all these card games, and I don't think anything changes. That's kind of my attitude towards it. So again, if you want to be a part of it, you ever want to send me any messages, we use Patreon for everything. I should have a couple open slots because we just had first of the month. So whenever we have payments decline, we'll lose, a handful of patrons, and those slots become available. And friendly reminder to you all, I appreciate everything, but remember, yes, I do run a very, very strict Patreon system. So yes, if you do close your account, or if you're an ex-patron ever since 2019, 2020, people who close their accounts, they are locked out for life and banned. It is a one-way street. I run the strictest Patreon business system around because unfortunately, people took advantage of it in the past with opening and closing their account 5, 10, 15 times just to buy one thing at a good deal and then take off. So we put an end to that about 5 years ago. So if you are supporting me, make sure you understand, please don't try to game the system. Other than that, I think that Pokemon's got some massive bright years ahead of it. So does Magic. So does Flesh and Blood. So does Weiss. So does Sorcery. Use extreme fucking caution on Disney Lorcana. I'm not sure what's going on yet with One Piece, but use caution. Star Wars, too new to know. Other than that, you all have a beautiful day out there.